Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review, another anniversary review. Really enjoy this one because this is a film that I grew up loving, and it's another film that me and my brother love watching together. It's a fun, kick-ass movie, and that is the 20th anniversary of Blade. I wanted to review this film for a long time because it's such a fun, kick-ass movie, and this is a film that for a while for like in the 90s. Well, there hasn't been that many Marvel movies, so due to the success of this film, kickstarted off of making more Marvel films. And I love this film. My brother loves this film. Wesley Snipes kicks a lot of ass as Blade. I just love this film to death. Just love it. I don't know. I don't know who could ever play a better Blade. Just Wesley Snipes is just the number one perfect choice as Blade. Now, Blade is directed by Stephen Norrington. He directed a film called Death Machine that had starred Brad Dorff. I like that film. I thought it was a good horror movie. I like that film. But then he directed a film that was called what was it? Last Minute. I haven't heard of that film though, but then he go on to direct League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I never minded League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I know my dad, he likes that movie. I never minded League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I know it has issues though, but I'll get to that film another time, sometime. But I know he directed that film, and after which he ain't going to do nothing afterwards. Probably because probably the film underperformed. I don't know, but he will always be recognized for the work of Blade. Just fun, kick-ass movie, especially for an R-rated Marvel movie. Before Deadpool, because everyone was like, oh, it's a R-rated Marvel film. This did it first. Before that, people seem to forget that, and especially all the blood and all that stuff, because how Deadpool with all the headshots and the blood and all that stuff. But this did before that, and it's in here written by David S. Goyer. I'm not a fan of the guy. It's just this is his work, especially his directing work. He directed The Unborn, that sucked. He directed The Invisible, that sucked. Then he directed the third Blade film, Blade Trinity, and that sucked. I love Blade, and I love Blade 2, but the third film, Trinity, sucked. And especially a lot of his writing as well. Of course, he write on the Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and he was supposed to do like a ride up on a reboot of Masters of the Universe of He-Man. The guy is just... But I will give credit to David S. Goyer for the first two Blade films. I'll give credit to that, though. But as for the supporting cast, you got Stephen Dorff as the villain. He did a good job in this film as the lead vampire, Deacon Frost. And then other supporting cast members, you have Kris Kristofferson, who plays Whistler, who's kind of like the father to Blade. When we tell the story, took him in. He's kind of like a father to Blade. And Bush Wright, who plays the character Karen, who's the doctor. Which she didn't go on to do much afterwards, actually. He's been in some stuff afterwards, but nothing memorable. So she's mainly known to starring in this film. I don't know what happened to her. I think she did it pretty good in this film. Donal Logue, who plays the right-hand guy to Deacon Frost, Stephen Dorff. He's been in some stuff. I know he was in Ghost Rider. He was the friend of Nicolas Cage in Ghost Rider. Then he's also starred in the TV show of Gotham. He played a cop. I didn't watch much of Gotham. My brother watches those DC shows. I'm not interested in those DC shows, but I know I've seen a couple of episodes that Donal Logue was in. He was like a cop in the show of Gotham. But he was in Ghost Rider, some other stuff though. But yeah. Udo Kier also as well. He's plays like a head of the council, this vampire council as well. So overall, solid cast. I also, as mentioned, that written by David Goyer. who I'm not a big fan of because, like, okay, as a director, he sucked. Like, he directed the third Blade film, Trinity, and that sucked. He directed a film called The Invisible, that sucked. And then he directed The Unborn, that sucked. But then he also go on. Especially he wrote all three of these. I'll give credit to two of them when he directed wrote on the first and second film. But he wrote and directed the third film, which sucked. But as a writer, he's wrote some other stuff as well, including Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. And also he was supposed to like to write or direct like a reboot of Masters of the Universe of He-Man. Whatever, they should just leave well enough alone. If that film ever gets made, I would say the one with Dolph Lundgren, even though it's not that great though, I also say it's already better than a reboot or a remake of Masters of the Universe. Because at least in that film, there were some good, decent effects. Franklin Gela I thought it was a decent Skeletor, honestly. But yeah, if it was a remake or reboot of Masters of the Universe, I would say the one with Dolph Lundgren is already better. Besides, if David S. Goyer has a hand in it. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, I will give him credit when he wrote on the first two Blade films. The rest of it else, no. But yeah, but I don't see anyone to have being a great choice for as Blade other than Wesley Snipes. But the opening alone, great action sequence, where this guy, he gets taken to this rave, and then the sprinkler starts raining down blood, and they're all vampires, and the guy falls. Great introduction to our hero Blade. The guy falls, and just Blaze is standing there, staring and kicking a lot of ass, a shotgun, turning all vampires to ashes. He takes one of those silver stakes, like one vampire right through here up to the chin to nail him to the ceiling, or more shotgun and takes a sword with a sword, and then he takes like this one like a boomerang with Blaze. He does like this with a little smile and just throws and decapitates 3. And such fun action was that. I love the opening to this. It's just fun, entertaining action sequence. Well shot, and it wasn't too much shaky cam, which I appreciate because I understood what was going on. Then Donal Logue comes in, Blade pins him and sets him on fire. Taken to the hospital where our doctor named Karen, the guy Donal Logue bites one guy, a worker with the doctor, then bites her, and he gets away. And when security starts shooting at Blade, he's like, "Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?" You get some good lines from Wesley Snipes. Like, that was a funny line. This is his reaction. He says that. Are you out of your damn mind? But he takes the doctor in because he kind of reminds of her of his mother, because like how he was. I think it was, yeah. I know the comics of Blade though, but I think it's how it went out. His mother was bitten by a vampire while she was pregnant with him, and he's half human, half vampire. But he has like the stuff of the strength of a vampire. He has a strength. He has the resistance, but he has the resistance to silver, garlic, and other stuff as well. And he can walk in daylight, but he has that urge, like all vampires for the thirst for blood. He has that in him, and he has this little injection to help him resist it with the help of Whistler. So he has that crave for blood still. So like any vampire though. So, but he has that to help resist it. But he takes the doctor in. He helps put some of the stuff in her to help her resist the thirst. Then he takes her and like kind of leaves her for bait, because her leaves one of those familiars. They're humans though that work with vampires, but like they prove like to whoever owns them, because they have those tattoos and those marks that they have on them, so they become vampire. So that's what they call familiars. Like this guy who's a cop, Blade just beats the crap out of him and makes him show what he has in his trunk. And the guy with it was like, Blade's like, fuck you, and then the guy's like, Blade's like, fuck me, no, you suck on this. And the guy, he gets away though, but they wait at night for him to come back for his cop car, and leads him to this other place, and he just beats the guy to tell him where, some info. Would go to this place where behind this secret doorway, and it leads to like, his archives. And that guy who's a familiar goes back to tell Deacon, kills him. But it leads to like this world. There's this big, huge vampire that's like a big mess. You know, just like how to like a fat blob. I would say, I don't know how to put it. It's just a fat blob. It's like a big mess. And you get you hear like a fart one time, but I actually keep saying how I hate fart jokes, but it's just one though. But I'll just let it be because it's only one and that's it. One teensy nitpick, yeah, of course, but still. But then the doctor, she gets like they try to get information from this, well, it sounds like a girl though, but they call it his name Pearl, but they say it's a he, because it's like, they say he, they say he though, but you take your pick though. But the girl has a UV light, just like burns it a lot, and what it finds behind the wall, the doors, it's like an archive, like history of vampires. And what the Deacon Frost is trying to do is get this ritual for the blood god, where you get the 12 stand in a circle, you get blood dripped on, and then one gets to become a blood god. And it's one point where Stephen Dorff, he takes Udo Kier because he rips his fangs out, have him get burned alive in the sunrise. Udo Kier didn't like him because they were born vampires, but he was bitten. So Stephen Dorff wanted him gone out of the picture. And so Donal Logue gets there with his men. Tries to mistake him with the silver because what he did to him. Then Whistler comes in, Kristofferson. It's like, they catch your fuckers at a bad time. Starts shooting some more people. They get on the subway, and it's like Donal gets his face skinned by the subway. Then he tells Kristofferson tells the doctor about his history, like how he was pregnant and he's half vampire though. And Whistler found him when he was a kid on the streets, took him in, and he came up with a thing to control the thirst. So that's why he's been like a father to him over the years. So when Blade, guess what Blade does, he goes off to, what he did next, I forget them. He went off, but because which leads to Frost and his guys. He beats up Kristofferson, takes the doctor hostage, and it was that he was beaten badly, and it was the Kristofferson got bit, and when Blade came back and he's all blade up and tells him to give him the gun to shoot himself. And which is kind of funny is that if he's been bit though, like the gun, it's kind of weird is that Blade shoots those guns for vampires. They're like silver and garlic in the bullets, right? But when I think he uses that gun for Kristofferson to shoot himself. I don't know, this is weird. Shouldn't that not disintegrate him because if he's being turned because the vampire blood is in him, I guess. But I don't know how it works, though. But considering that Kristofferson, he comes back in the sequel, must have did something to him. So I don't know. I don't know how that worked though. But anyway, he comes back in the sequel. But I ain't complaining. It's another nitpick that seemed out of place. But Blade goes and tries to go to the headquarters of the vampires, and on his motorcycle with this stuff that the doctor came up with, like make him explode. Like he fights two in the hallway, sticks one here, one sticks in an eye, and they all just like bulge up, bloody red, and all of a sudden just explodes in blood. And doesn't hold back on the R that it's R-rated. It's just full. It's bloody, and that's what for an R-rated Marvel film, especially to deal with vampires, it's well done. Even though with like some of the explosions, with some of the effects, especially with the blood sequences, it's a bit cartoonish though. But I'll let that slide because I'm having fun. I'm having entertainment, especially Wesley Snipes, and yeah, some of the blood effects is cartoonish though. Even like the sequence where getting to after the ritual. Well, I'll get to that part though, but I'll explain why though. But it does seem a bit cartoonish though, and I'll willing to let that slide because this came out 20 years ago, and some of the effects today I've seen some effects are a lot worse than this. So I've seen worse. I will give this a slap because 20 years ago, it's not the best though because it's cartoonish though, but it's seen a lot worse. But anyway, this is a film. It's a great movie, and sad to say, some of the films today are the bottom of the totem pole, and this is at the top, basically. Some of the films today doesn't like, especially in effects. But anyway, but he gets there, and he gets this one room, and he sees that his mother, that thought he was dead, but she was brought back as a vampire, and that was Deacon Frost that bit her, and that's what became of him. Oh yeah, and I forgot what was the thing with now that I remember, but when Blade went out, he talked with Deacon Frost in the middle of the daytime, and he's holding a girl, and Blade shoots, and you get like the bullet, like the slow mo of the bullet where he dodges out of the way. I'm messing that up though. And I think the Matrix was 1999. So this is that little like the out of the way bullet or slow mo bullet shots before that. Maybe they took it from maybe the Matrix took it from this for that one little scene. Maybe I don't know. Also, because this was 1998, and the Matrix came out the next year, 1999, for the whole bullet slow mo work. But because Blade shoots it, and Deacon slowly gets out of the way of the bullets. So yeah, that was that scene of what was he doing before the girl was taken and Whistler was beaten. But yeah, after that, he meets his mother. They capture him. They use his blood, for the ritual. Put him in this case, so he starts bleeding and starts dripping from the ceiling. The council members standing in a circle, blood on them, and Deacon's in the middle. Like the skeletal forms of the vampires fly out. He gets into it. He becomes a blood god. Then the girl, she gets thrown down a pit where her co-worker is like a vampire zombie because he's feeding on other things and tries to attack her. She gets out of the pit and helps Blade out of it, and he's bleeding to death. And she made the cure for him because if we took it, he'll be human, just be normal. But he doesn't want to, so she decides to give him some of her blood, and he's biting on where her wounds are. He's just really getting into it, like biting her, and then little fights with his mother, and stabs her with a bone with a bone. And says, I must release you. And then she disintegrates, kills his mother. And I think the woman who played his mother, I think that the woman who played Blade's mother, or Eric, because that's what his real name is, Eric Brooks. In the comics, his human name is Eric Brooks, because she called him Eric. But the woman who played Blade's mother, she was the lead. She was the lead in Alien vs Predator. Yeah, she was the woman. Yeah, she was the woman in Alien vs Predator. I don't think she was the strong of a lead in. I'd rewatch AVP again, but I don't think I did not care for her in AVP. Here though, she's in a smaller role, so it's less tolerable though. I'm just saying. Yeah, I think that was her in Alien vs Predator. But yeah, so he goes, Frost, and Donal, he wants to go after him, and because he's wearing his glasses, he decapitates him, gets his glasses, and gets him more well choreographed fight sequences. More fisticuffs, kicking. And there was that woman that was like the other lover of Deacon Frost. The doctor gets it's like a mace with garlic spraying in her mouth, and her head explodes. And then after the well done choreographed sequences, then you get the sword fight with Deacon Frost. And I like the sword fight. It's a good it's fast and good sword fight. And like I said, when he cuts him in half, also when he cuts his arm off. Well, wait, his hand off, and then he cuts him in half. Like I said, the blood sequence, like I said, the effects it's very cartoonish, but I'll be willing to give like a bit of leniency on it because I'm having fun with the movie. And like I said, it's 20 years ago, so it's not the best though, cartoonish though, but I'm willing to let that slide. So I'm having fun with the film. Like I said, but the blood, like it puts his upper half back into his body, and then like I said, the bloody cartoonish effect of Greek going in his hand. I like the reaction of Blade does. He turns around and he's like... and then he gets those serums that the doctor made those other two vampires explode, just throws them at him, and he's just another line's like, some motherfucker is always trying to ice skate uphill. Kicks into the guy's head, and then Frost just explodes bloody fashioned. And then they get out and tells the doctor, it's like, keep your cure. There's a war going on. I got a job to do. You want to help? Make more of that serum. The one that's, the resistance serum. The next thing you see him in Moscow, Russia, where this talking with this guy vampire about to get this girl, and so yeah, I love this film. It's a fun, kick-ass film, and this is what people forget. This is the film that helped set for future Marvel films. People seem to forget that because the year 2000, then X-Men came out. Then in 2002, Spider-Man. So yeah, some people seem to forget this set the tone for future Marvel films due to its success. Then in 2002, Blade 2 came out. I love Blade 2. It's another great sequel. Which this case, Guillermo del Toro came to direct. But then of course in the third one, David Goyer, that sucked. But I love Blade 2. And I also see people forget, okay, with Black Panther came out early this year, that made a huge ton of money. Which I did not expect that film to make a whole ton of money. Over $1 billion worldwide and $700 million domestically. Because of the whole thing of a comic book film, a superhero film where the superhero is black and all that. Well, I mean, Chadwick Boseman, okay, I'll review that though, but I was disappointed in it though. But one of the things that I liked, Chadwick Boseman, he did a good job as Black Panther still, because I liked him in Civil War. But the rest of the film was just disappointing to me for Black Panther, and I'll get to why though. But some people forget, before all that Black Panther, we have a Marvel superhero black lead, and that was Blade, Wesley Snipes. And some people seem to forget this. It's like the same thing with Wonder Woman. Before that there was Supergirl from the 80s, Helen Slater. I know people don't like that film. That film flopped though, but I'm saying before, because Wonder Woman was the whole big female superhero, and did some people forget that one came out years earlier, and that was Supergirl. But some people seem to forget that though. But I know it's also but I don't think I might. I already watched Supergirl again, but I don't remember not minding it because one of the highlights was Jerry Goldsmith's music. But I don't remember not minding Supergirl. Take that over Wonder Woman, but a lot of people love Wonder Woman. A lot of people loves Black Panther. But I was saying Chadwick Boseman, yeah, he was not the problem though, but it's more disappointing things. But some people forget, for Marvel superhero in the Black League, but some people forget that before all that though, we got Wesley Snipes as Blade and set the future for Marvel films, and especially it's R-rated, like before Deadpool. So some people seem to forget these little things. Like today's like, oh, this is the best of this and the best that, and some people seem to forget the nitpick, the side of things from back and then. We did things before that. That's what I'm trying to get at. But yeah. But I love Blade, so I don't know more I can say. Me and my brother love this film a lot. Wesley Snipes is kick-ass, and he's perfect, excellent casting as Blade. No, I don't know. I can't imagine no other person who could play Blade. No one. I know there was even talks about they're trying to bring his character back. Wesley Snipes coming back for be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I would like to see it because there's no other person I can see who could play a better Blade than Wesley Snipes. I just hope one day maybe he can still do martial arts today still, but hopefully maybe they'll bring him to the Marvel Universe. I'd like to see that because they're still talking with how they can bring him to the MCU. So anything more? Yeah, because as a 7.1 on IMDb, 54% of Rotten Tomatoes. I highly disagree with that. I give it a whole lot positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes. But I have more I can say. I love this film to death, and Wesley Snipes is excellent. Actions, I love it, especially the opening. Solid casting. Stephen Dorff was a good villain. Kristofferson and Wright were good as well. So I don't know more I can say about Blade. It's just great Marvel film from essentially starting kicking off the Marvel trend was this. But yeah, Wesley Snipes, I give this 2 thumbs up. Cry right there. But yeah, 5. I'll even give it 5 stars out of me because I have no problems with the film. But yeah, other than because Wesley Snipes, he's the soul of this film as well as the sequel. He's just kick ass, taking names as Blade. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. Later. And I will also gotta say 20th anniversary, 20 years later, it's still fun to kick ass. Later.